This is WIN News.
Tonight, man behind bars after alleged stabbing. Car hits a pedestrian, police investigating. And a big win for local Townsville contractors. Good evening and welcome to WIN Local News. I'm Melissa Russell. Also tonight, a safety boost for Townsville Correctional Centre staff. But first, a man is in hospital after a stabbing in Ingham overnight. Police were called to the residence following a disturbance in the early hours of this morning. James Eddy has more from our Townsville newsroom.
Police were called to the Cartwright Street home at around 1:30 this morning, where a 35-year-old man was allegedly found with a stab wound to his back. But the case has now been scheduled to be heard tomorrow.
James Eddy with that report. Police and emergency services were called to Stagpole Street in West End today after reports a pedestrian had been hit by a car. A man was taken into custody following the incident. Residents on the usually quiet stretch of road reported hearing a commotion prior to a loud bang. A safety boost for staff at Townsville Correctional Centre with the rollout of 10 additional body-worn cameras. The devices, similar to those worn by police, will be allocated to frontline prison staff. Contractors have hit the ground running as jobs begin to flow from the $250 million North Queensland Stadium project. In a big win for locals, 2 Townsville businesses have been awarded initial contracts, with more than 80 more yet to be confirmed.
James Eddy, WIN News.
Our tourism sector has come under intense scrutiny today, with far northern tourism operators hitting out over excessive red tape and licensing restrictions. Member for Leichhardt Warren Ench admits smaller tour operators are being held back and potential growth stifled by some rules and regulations in our national parks and on the reef. Adani has rejected claims its Carmichael coal mine project is struggling because banks are refusing to fund it. Australia's big 4 banks have declined to get involved, reportedly wanting to avoid the perception that they're ignoring climate change. Queensland Fire and Emergency Services are working to seal 36 in-ground water training pits across the state. Testing has detected traces of potentially harmful chemicals found in firefighting foam. Thousands of visitors have started pouring into Townsville ahead of the Townsville 400. Occupancy rates have already skyrocketed, with people choosing to spend a few extra days holidaying in our region before the main event kicks off. Now for a quick look at the weather, it's over to Hannah.
Thanks, Mel. We've got mostly clear skies forecast for the region tonight and for the remainder of the week as well, with just a slight chance of some showers near the coastline. Today, if you were in Townsville, we reached a top of 27, 17 overnight. After sport, I'll have more on the forecast.
Thanks, Hannah. We'll see you a little later on. Coming up on WIN Local News, a kidnapper on Eklund Street. See the spiky spectator crash a local coffee shop and what we can expect to see this NAIDOC week. Welcome back. An unexpected visitor has caused quite a stir online after dropping into a Townsville coffee shop this morning. The echidna was caught on camera by the owner of Stripes Coffee on Eklund Street. The thirsty visitor appeared to be hunting some freshly ground coffee as it wandered in shortly after opening. It's NAIDOC week and events celebrating Indigenous culture across our region are well underway. It's an opportunity for Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians to come together and close the gap. More than 1,200 Queensland children were hospitalised in 2015 as a result of medical poisoning. A new campaign has been launched alongside the new data, urging us to throw away old medications which are ceased or expired. Sport is coming up and Queensland Country Rugby revelling in more success over its New South Wales counterparts. The Cowboys keen to keep momentum going despite their bye, and Michael Morgan may be the maroon centre, with Queensland's captain calling for a debutant to play 5/8.
Cop Shop is out now with its unique blend of characters.
Welcome back. Rugby League first, and Queensland's captain is calling for Cameron Munster to play 5/8 in the State of Origin decider at Suncorp Stadium. If the debutant is selected at 6, Cowboys playmaker Michael Morgan will start in the centres next Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the Cowboys won't be required to play without their Origin stars this weekend, with the club enjoying a bye in round 18 of the NRL. North Queensland heads into the break after winning 4 of its past 5 games, and the players are confident they'll be able to pick up where they left off when they return to action. To rugby, and for the second year in a row, Queensland Country has scored a try on the siren to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat against rivals New South Wales Country. Burdekin's Shane Kennedy had a tough night with the boot, but in the end it didn't matter. And that's the night in sport. Next on WIN Local News, Hannah has your weather details.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman. Your local specialist team are here to help.
Good evening, everyone. We have mostly clear skies forecast across the area tonight and for the most part the next few days as well. Some parts of the coastal fringe may see a light shower or two, just with an onshore flow. We're not really expecting a whole heap of weather for tropical parts of Queensland for the rest of the week. So I'll show you in more detail in just a moment. Thank you very much to Adam Ainsworth for tonight's weather shot. This picture was taken from Magnetic Island, and if you would also like to see weather shots on TV, I would love to hear from you. Just jump online and send me an email to weather@winqld.com.au. You can also reach me on Facebook and Twitter at Hannah J. McEwen. So our daytime temperatures today, as you can see, were generally around the mid to high 20s. Townsville recorded a top of 27, as did Ayr. Our overnight lows sort of vary between the mid to high 20s, 14 degrees for Ayr last night, 15 in Bowen, and 15 to 27 degrees for Chatters Towers today. In Townsville tomorrow, so we've got partly cloudy skies for the next few days, 26 degrees tomorrow, 27 Thursday and Friday, and warming up to a very mild 28 degrees into Sunday. Have a great night. Mel, back to you.
Thanks, Hannah. And before we go, a quick recap of tonight's top stories. A 53-year-old man is behind bars tonight after allegedly stabbing another man in the back. He was taken into police custody early this morning and will face court tomorrow. The first jobs package out of $250 million Townsville Stadium has been given to local contractors. Thousands of early birds have started arriving for the Townsville 400. It's good news for our hotels and restaurants that are reporting high occupancies. And WIN's local and national news continues with the projects next. Remember, if you have a story you'd like us to follow up, we're on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for making WIN News your local news. I'll see you tomorrow night at 6. I'm Melissa Russell. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.
This has been a WIN News presentation. WIN News, regional Australia's #1 news source.
Tonight on WIN, MasterChef. Then, new Shark Tank. Later, NCIS.